Good morning, YouTube friends. I am Rainy with No Idle Hands, and today I'm going to be doing an update. My camera setup's a little bit different, so I'm not looking directly in the camera because it's a little hard for me to figure out where I'm supposed to be. But I am doing the weekly vlog that I normally do on Sunday. It's now Wednesday because today is my day off. Wednesday was a little bit crazy. Sunday was a little bit crazy. So here I am. You have to pardon the working life of a nurse. We never know when we're going to be working and when we have family stuff going on. I am drinking coffee out of my Bones coffee cup. It's Shark Bite. I love Bones coffee. It's my favorite. And I'm drinking actually a Walmart coffee. It was a fall collection that they just happened to have out. It's not too bad. Today I'm drinking sugar cookie out of that collection. There was like 18 of them or 15 of them. I don't know. One different flavor per each. And I've drank things like pumpkin spice and chocolate brownie and berry crumble, and yesterday I think was chocolate chip. I don't know. Anyway. So I have been here in Springfield since Friday. Yeah, I'm living the small life now. The house is mostly packed up. I think I have one little corner in the living room left. We've finished everything but that, so I have to go back. I'm thinking I'm going to go Friday of this week and finish up my one last corner where all of my yarn spinning equipment is. So now I am reduced to 600 square feet. Once my house gets rented out, which I have a renter, caretaker / person. Yeah, that's it. All my stuff's going into storage, and we're going to be figuring out some kind of other living arrangements, possibly, when we're back in this area. But they are just going to be taking care of the house for us, because in the process of cleaning, mind you, my house sat abandoned for 6-8 weeks, something like that. A pack rat moved into my house. Yeah, so we found him, well, found his nest while we were cleaning, or her nest. I don't know. I don't want to be sexist in that matter. I don't know if it was male or female. But I wondered what had happened to some of my plants, because some of the, well, they all were pretty much dead by the time I got home. But some of the plants were actually physically missing out of the planters. We found them in the rat nest. And so, yeah. I also found some dead mice. In my yarn, which didn't make me happy. So that yarn got thrown away. Sorry, guys. I wasn't going to give you dead rat yarn. And of all things, I cherish my mandala yarn, my Lion Brand mandala. I love it. It is my favorite, and I don't buy it that often because it is usually for me or my daughter. I will occasionally make things for other people out of it, but it's like the me yarn. That and the forget what it is, the fluffy, let's see. This yarn that I made out of, I think this was a Lion Brand yarn also, that I made my Vertigo hats out of. Those are my two favorite yarns that I reserve for special projects. So anyway, I was pretty disheartened when I found dead mice in my yarn. My special stash. So, to kind of sum things up, we left Bangor, Maine the last week of September. We got home. We stayed home 24 hours-ish, and then headed to Texas for a little mini vacay. We were gone about a week. Came back, boxed up the house in about a week, and now I am here. Well, actually, we weren't even home a week. We got home on a Sunday, and we were here by Friday. So I have been busy with driving and more driving and boxing and packing and I don't even know anymore. So I have to apologize. I had some projects upcoming that I had started in Bangor that I really want to put out on YouTube. Gonna have to start over. I'm just gonna have to start over. And the yarn I need is God knows where. So I ended up with 2 totes here in Springfield with me, one of which is completely only my Lion Brand Mandala and Special Yarns, my fluffy yarns. I can't even, I think it's Landscapes maybe, or I can't remember the name brand of it. I just know it when I see it and I love it. So one complete tote of that, and then totes, it just like miscellaneous yarn for like hats and scarves and whatever, because I guess I'll be doing a lot of that this winter. And then my project yarns, because heaven knows I am still working on the Peppermint Twist. I have 4 rows completed now. 4 rows. I have that yarn. I mean, that yarn, I put that in a separate box because I didn't want to be penalized for that. It's like, hey, somebody's buying this. I have to pack this in a separate box. And it's not that my husband's trying to be mean. He's not. He let me keep a lot of yarn. But when you live in 600 square feet, the yarn can't take over your life. So, yeah, anything that is being bought and going away was in its own separate container, because that container will go away. Another project I'm working on, it's my own design. It's the same gentleman who wanted the Peppermint Twist also ordered some travel neck pillows, so I'm working on that as well. And I think that's the only 2 paid for projects that I'm being paid to make right now. Everything else is on me. So what else am I working on? Well, I have the hat that has come from Bangor, Maine with me, and went to Texas with me, and went to Anderson, Missouri with me, and now is here in Springfield. I have the, oh, where'd it go? Hello. I have lost, my scrap blanket that I was working on. Dang it. I'll find it. It's somewhere. Oh, I think I see it over there. Hold on, one moment. I forgot. I worked on it the other night. So my scrap blanket that I put my little tail ends in. So everything up to the white was Bangor. And now that I am in Springfield, everything past the white is Springfield. And as I get a little snip, I just tie it on and crochet it in. So that's how many tails I've had since I even made, yes, I have a completed project too. So let's see, what else am I working on? Let's not jump ahead of ourselves. I'm a little scattered this morning. I do this without notes. I just ramble and carry on. Working on another hat pattern. Don't mind my white scrap yarn there, but I'm working on a hat. The hat pattern I was working on in Bangor is gonna kind of be put on hold. Unless I can, I mean, I probably could figure it out in regular 4-ply yarn, but all of my 5 weight yarn got packed away. And so, and I had made that with 5 yarn, so I have to revamp the pattern. Let's see, put this back away. Because that's one thing about living in a small space, you need to learn to clean up after yourself and not leave things out. I think that's all I'm working on that I care to admit about right now. I mean, pretty much everything else that I was working on just went away because I could only bring so much with me. I was working on the community C2C blanket, I had to put that away. I mean, it's like we're working on, all the blocks have been published and I haven't even finished one yet. So, I mean, I'm sad about that. I'm sad about having to abandon projects. But I really did like that blanket. I just couldn't carry that much yarn with me. I mean, that would have dominated my project box. Oh, speaking of project boxes, I was allowed to bring the suitcase. You remember the suitcase way back when? And I'll do a separate video about this. But the suitcase way back when that got left in Missouri when I went to Maine, I found it. And I brought it with me. Just simply for the fact I was like, yeah, you know, once we empty it out, then we add an extra suitcase, blah, 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 and all these projects won't be in here. So, anyway, I got away with the suitcase also, but it's got projects in it. So, I will have to, I don't even really remember what was in there. I think I remember a couple of things. I know my daughter's sweater was in there that I was working on, and my husband's hat. But beyond that, I think that's where all of my hand spinners are and my yarn that I want to spin. I'm hoping that's where it is because I didn't run across it anywhere else when I was packing. So anyway, so then we'll have an extra suitcase once I empty that one out. And but on to finished objects. I have actually managed to finish an object since being in Springfield. Completely started and finished. It's an itty bitty little hat. Does not fit on my head, which makes me sad because I love this yarn. This is more of the mandala. This was called Felicity. I don't have a ball of it left over, but it was one of the, I don't know, you get it at Walmart. Anyway, and it is reversible. If it looks like a hat that you do on a knitting machine, it does look a lot like that, and it's made a lot in the same process, but it's made on knitting needles. So before I left Maine, I was working on a pattern because, you know, there you go, knitting machine takes up space. It did not make the move. It is in storage with my spinning wheels and my drum carder and all of that, all of my nifty stuff. Anyway, this is made completely in the round on knitting needles, on really big knitting needles, but they're not big enough. So I had made a hat, let's see, on my size 11 needles. Yeah, 11s. That actually had been big enough for my head. And so this was made on a 10.5. Not big enough. So I have a little kid hat. Anyway, now that is what I'm working on here. I'm working on another hat. I'm calling them two hats because I don't know really what else to call them. I mean, they're made completely, and they're reversible, like this one. You know, it's just a big tube. And you sew the top and the bottom together and close it up, and you have a reversible hat. It's super easy for beginners. I'm just trying to work out the technical math stuff so you don't have to. I mean, that's one of the things, you know, and I'm going to try to limit my projects, my tutorial projects, to 4-ply Red Heart yarn that I know I'm going to have. Or, you know, 4-ply yarn that I know I'm going to have, because that's my lifeblood, is 4-ply yarn. What else is going on? Enough craft talk. I know that's why y'all come, is for the crafts. So I started work Monday. All day orientation. I have to admit, I'm impressed by this orientation. This is the best orientation I have got since I was a travel nurse. The absolute best. Most thorough. I spent all day doing the important stuff that they really wanted me to know, like the EMR and stuff like that, which I've already worked for this particular hospital company before, so I'm familiar with their computer system, and I could just test out of it, which saved me a lot of time, because had I not, I would be in computer class again today and yesterday. It's a 2-day training, which I saved myself lots of time by being able to do that. But I did spend all day on the computer yesterday doing regulatory stuff, like, you know, abuse, neglect, med errors, you know, the stuff I get every place. Very thorough. I heard some of the same stuff like 4 times, whereas in other places I maybe didn't hear it at all. So, I mean, and it's just, it's stuff that has to be said. It's the legal stuff, so you can say, ooh, nobody told me that. Well, yes, they did. You just weren't paying attention. And it's, you know, being a nurse for 23 years, I've heard it more than once. I mean, it's the obvious stuff. So then I actually get another day tomorrow to go out and do a shadow shift, which I don't normally get. That will entail, what does the unit look like? You know, stuff like competencies, like being able to use their glucometer, which, I'm sorry, I don't know why my eyes are so itchy this morning. It's stuff like, you know, the glucometers, which the hospital I just came from is kind of like a sister facility, but not quite. I think the hospital I'm working for now bought out the one in Maine, because a lot of the stuff is similar but hasn't kind of bridged over yet. So, I mean, really, I've been working for the same hospital system for a year, over a year now, because the first 2 contracts I took were with the same hospital company. I'm trying to refrain from saying their name, just because, you know, if I ever say something like, oh, God, you know, I don't want you to know which hospital I work for. And there are a few here in Springfield, so take your pick. So yeah, I get a shadow shift tomorrow, and then Saturday I do my orientation shift where I actually work with someone, and then Sunday I start on my own. Work Sunday, off Monday, work Tuesday, Wednesday. And then I'm off Thursday, Friday, Saturday next week. So today I'm just chilling out. My husband went back to the house, took the dog, took my baby. But as much as he is my dog, and as much as I've come to rely on him, I don't need him, per se, to live. He makes my life better while he's here. He does provide a service for me, so he is technically my service dog, but I can function without him. Plain and simple. I have to go to work without him, so, well, I mean, I choose to go to work without him. I have taken him to work with me in the past, but, you know, healthcare is not the best place for an animal. I mean, so, if you think about it, I used to take him to a nursing home when I worked in the nursing home, and his paws touch everything on that floor. And he's not above licking the floor either. He does lick the floor. I can't train that out of him. But anyway, if you take the paws alone, okay, so his paws touch that floor, then he licks his paws clean, da-da-da-da-da. He licks me with that tongue. So, germ transfer. Hospitals and nursing homes are some of the germiest places. And I mean, hospitals, I believe, are probably even worse. So I just choose not to take him to germy places. Not only that, when COVID first started, they said, oh yeah, sure, you can still bring your dog. However, he is subject to the same scanning processes, meaning I would have to take his temperature every day too. And I'm like, oh, heck no, I ain't taking my dog's temperature every day. So that kind of was my decision to not take my dog, because if any of you have had dogs, you know how you have to take their temperatures, and I'm just leaving it at that. So, I announced my giveaway, my D-Stash giveaway. Please share that with your friends. I was kind of hoping I could build my my population with it. I've only gotten one new subscriber since I put that out there. Oh well. It's all good. I know who my loyal viewers are, and one of y'all gonna be my winner. So you know who you are. That's okay, because I love y'all. My, what, 3, 4, 5 of you who actually comment on my videos. I love you guys, you're great. What else is going on? I think that's about it. I've been rambling for about 20 minutes now. Let's see, I've covered work, I've covered the move, I've covered crafting. Yeah, that's pretty much it. So, to the important stuff. If you like these videos, please like, subscribe, and share with your friends. It means the world to me if you do. I'm mostly doing this just to share my crazy life with people. My crafting life and my tutorials, which, oh, by the way, I did put out a couple of knitting tutorials. Well, a knitting tutorial with 2 cast-ons, so go watch that. But thanks, guys. I will check in with you on the next one.